on in. Thank you. Oh, well, okay. Now we know. Very good. So for those that are listening on audio, we are audio taping our daily SEDP conference call. So we're going to jump right in and begin with the program. A number of things to note. I do want to give everybody, since I talked about it a lot yesterday, an update on the grant and loan process through MEDC, the Small Business Relief Program. So we spent, I won't go into too many details here, but we spent almost 5 hours collectively between our organizational staff, the chamber staff, and our small business development center yesterday, evaluating all the different proposals, which ended up somewhere, I want to say, close to 170. Those were not all grant applications. There were many, many loan applications in there, but it was a very good process. We took our time. We reviewed everybody, talked it out. I thought it was very fair, very thorough. I believe that the recommendations are very geographically representative of Shiawassee County, and really will do, I think, as best we can with $93,000, do something to really try to help a lot of different Shiawassee County small businesses get through this crisis. I don't want to go any more detail because we agreed not to announce it yet, and we need to have those recommendations approved at the regional level, which should be happening later this afternoon. And then at that time, it will be forwarded on to Michigan Economic Development Corporation to help us get the money out to businesses. So that's really what I want to say for now. But I just want to thank Jeff Deason. I want to thank the chamber staff. I want to thank Cheryl Peterson, and of course our staff here at SEDP for going through that process. It was a great team effort. And I think it was, we did the very best we could with what we had. So look for more on that, maybe a press release even as soon as this afternoon, detailing who those companies are and the list of awards and things like that. But as I said yesterday, please know we gave everybody strong consideration and really tried to do our best to spread it out to a lot of businesses in need. So that's the grant side. On the loan side, as I said, many of those applications were loans, which were in the $50,000 to $200,000 range. The grants, as a reminder, were $10,000 or under. Those loans now will be vetted by Michigan Economic Development Corporation. And actually, even if they were not submitted by the Sunday night deadline, there's still an opportunity for businesses in Shiawassee County to apply for an MEDC loan. Tyler, the Brabander from MEDC, is on the call. Tyler, do you want to add anything on the loan program from MEDC?
We should be learning some more specifics today, but I think really, it's going to flow through the local EDOs, so the SEDP, and what the chamber is doing in that application. I don't know if I have any real update, but would be happy to take some questions after if anybody has any.
Okay. Yep. And please, if you do have questions on it, hold back to the end. Okay. The other thing I spent a lot of time talking about yesterday was the stimulus package, particularly the Payroll Protection program. As I said yesterday, and I believe even more today, I think this is the centerpiece of the stimulus package that has a tremendous opportunity to help our small businesses by giving them a forgivable loan, which really can turn into a grant to help cover operational expenses, I believe, for up to 8 weeks. That would be things like payroll, rent, utilities. The guidelines for that, and I heard this from multiple lenders yesterday, the guidelines are not out yet. Everybody's waiting from the federal government, from the SBA, for those guidelines. And I know there's probably some lenders on the phone that are nodding their head yes right now. Yep, we're waiting. What I want to make sure for any of the businesses on the phone, I talked to several businesses yesterday, at least 3 or 4, that don't have a lender. Either they have never done loans, or they maybe their lender doesn't do SBA, or various reasons. And as I mentioned yesterday, we always encourage use your current lender. We never encourage you to go shop. I mean, if you have a lender you like, you work with, please do work with them. We want to support our existing lenders in those relationships. But if you don't have a relationship, we have people that we've worked with at SEDP that yesterday expressed interest to me that they would be willing and interested to serve potentially new customers through this program. So my call to action for anybody today, either you, your business, or businesses you may know that need a partner, lending partner, to work with them on this SBA program to get access to the dollars through the Payroll Protection program, please let us know, and we would be happy to make those connections. So that's what I want to say about that. I do expect more information to be coming. Timing is critical. I've actually been invited by Senator Peters' office to get on a teleconference tomorrow and actually have the opportunity to ask the senator a question. And that is the question I'm going to ask is the program is great, but businesses need money now. They can't wait months to get it in their hands. They need cash very quickly. So want to understand that process and how that can happen as fast as possible to get capital in the hands. The Treasury Secretary came out yesterday, said they were actually hoping possibly to have the process by yesterday, which I don't think happened, but actually starting to get money out the door for small business by Friday. Once again, I don't know how that's going to happen, but that was from the Treasury Secretary. So anyway, I'm going to keep promoting this program because at least based on my read, signature program that's going to help companies with those expenses for the next couple of months. With that, I want to turn it over to Jody on our team, who has a few updates to make on human resource stuff. Jody?
Good morning. I just wanted to touch base with everybody. You may have already seen this, but yesterday the governor signed an agreement under the Federal CARES Act. So it's an agreement between Michigan and the U.S. Department of Labor to implement some resources for and benefits for workers who weren't currently covered. That includes self-employed, 1099 independent contractors, gig and low-wage workers who cannot work because of the pandemic that did not already qualify for the state unemployment benefits. So the agreement for self-employed, low-wage, and other workers will provide a set amount of $600 a week for up to 4 months on top of the state benefit. So it's a set amount of $600 a week for up to 4 months. That's available now for 39 weeks. And those newly eligible individuals include the self-employed workers, independent contractors, low-wage workers, and those with a limited work history. They did mention that it might be a little bit more difficult for these people to apply because you don't necessarily have a W-2, but there will be a list of documentation that they will need in order to take care of this. The benefits actually increase for all unemployed workers under this CARES Act. The weekly benefit for all unemployed workers will increase by a set amount of $600 a week for up to 4 months. And this applies to all of the workers who are already in the unemployment system and those eligible to apply. If you have already applied or your employees have already applied, they do not have to reapply. This will automatically take place. And the UIA will provide additional guidance for this new eligibility in the coming days as it's implementing the program. So you may not be able to go right in today if you're self-employed and file, but within the next couple of days, it sounds like they will be implementing these procedures. So we will keep an eye out for those to come into effect and get that information to you. Any claims will be backdated to reflect the date in which a claimant was laid off. And I'm trying to see, the eligibility window to apply has increased from 14 days to 28 days from the date of work stoppage. And there is a new filing schedule under the michigan.gov/UIA website. They're trying to keep things a little bit more organized. So they're providing certain days that certain letters of the alphabet, your last names beginning with certain letters, should apply on specific days to try to keep the flow a little bit smoother. The other thing I wanted to mention was that there is a webinar this afternoon at 3 o'clock through the Small Business Development Center. Justin sent an email with information about it yesterday. So if anybody's interested, you should have received that information, or we can get it back out to you if we need to. But that is supposed to answer some of our questions with or having to do with human resources. So I will be participating in that call, and I will take notes, and hopefully tomorrow morning be able to pass along some new information to everybody that I pick up on that call. And I think that's it.
Perfect, Jody. And I think it's going to be interesting about this is, this payroll protection. So a lot of people obviously are going on unemployment, and the benefits are becoming very robust. And I actually had this question yesterday. Well, if the payments are so robust, what do I do with this payroll protection program? Because does that, that requires you to bring people back on payroll. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the dollars shake out here. I guess what makes more economic sense. I mean, my hope would be that, companies, if they have the capital and it's a forgivable loan, if it becomes a grant, the companies will want to bring people back on payroll in order to, keep them in the family, so to speak. Versus having them stay out on unemployment. So despite this, what I think is a very large unemployment benefit, I think businesses, hopefully that utilize this payroll protection program, will ultimately end up hiring those people back, and those folks will probably then forego that unemployment to get back on the payroll of the company. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out going forward. So. And you guys may have some questions on that. Let's hold that until the end. Jody, anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay, very good. A few more things. I did send out an email later yesterday, from our friends at Consumers Energy, and I don't know if Catherine or anybody else from Consumers is on the call, but they're a great partner. And they wanted us to pass out some information on what they're doing to support business, particularly if there's any needs related to utility bills and whatnot. So I would definitely encourage. What? Somebody from Consumers? Nope. Okay, sorry. I had some feedback. So great partners, but if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns about their bill or anything else, there is information on that flyer, and please feel free to give their business center a call. I know they'd be very happy to work with you. I'll put out another call. I do this daily for our friends at Memorial. They are always looking for personal protective equipment, masks, gowns. I know gowns are in need, pretty significant need right now. Respirators, I think they're doing okay on masks. We've actually had several companies, and I've said this before, several companies have stepped up. I just got word yesterday, another industrial business in the Shiawassee area is donating 50 of those N95 masks to them. So that's a beautiful thing, but they're going to continue to need equipment. So if any of you have access to that to be able to donate, please get a hold of Becky Dawkey at the hospital, and I can share that contact information with you. Along with that, something that I've also been mentioning daily, and I talked to a couple more business folks yesterday about it, is the state, through the Pure Michigan Business Connect program, is continuing to build out a platform of connecting businesses that want to get into making things to support medical. I mean, you guys see the headlines, General Motors, Ford, that's great. I'm proud of the fact that we have a lot of smaller businesses in Shiawassee County that want to get into supporting that platform. So actually, Tyler, can you jump back on and maybe give another quick update on that PMBC effort?
Sure. So, and really, we've seen a lot of success with this so far. It's a procurement platform. It's really going to be buyer-driven, but not a lot of legwork in getting your capabilities as a manufacturer on there and visible to the companies with immediate needs. Basically, you fill out a form with what your current capabilities are, kind of the term of having that product or those products ready for rollout. Other capabilities you might have that with a little bit of help you could, turn into a product. And it's really a one-stop shop for purchasers in the medical space right now to connect with businesses across the state and get the things that they need in the immediate term. So would really encourage anyone who thinks they have capabilities that might be helpful right now with all this going on to just fill out the short form and be listed on there for our purchasers to contact.
And I've sent that out before by email, but I'll send it out again today. I think I've probably now heard from at least 10 Shiawassee County companies that want to do something in that space. And you don't just have to be a manufacturer, too. I do want to mention that. I mean, there are other needs, and you'll see that on the email when I send it out. There are other needs, right, Tyler, that folks are needing in the medical field. It's not just gowns and respirators. They've got other things they're buying, too.
Yep, absolutely.
So take a look at that. This is a preview comment because we're going to have someone on the phone tomorrow to talk about it, but I do want to let you all know on the nonprofit side, and I know Yvette's been on the call, maybe she can comment on it, Yvette Collard, but we now have a fund that has been established to provide a community fund, basically, to provide financial assistance for those in need. The Cook Family Foundation has been an early adopter of that, and the Shiawassee Genesee United Way is involved. Emily Mara is actually going to be on the call tomorrow to talk about it, but I don't know. Yvette, you're usually on the call. Do you want to make any comments on that right now?
Sure, Justin. So yes, Emily and the United Way are heading it up. We've made an initial contribution. There's also at raiseupshiawassee.org a way for those that are not in economic strife right now and may want to help out in that way to donate to that fund, and it's going to help for essential needs for any of our nonprofits and their clientele.
Very good.
Should be a press release soon in August, if not already today. I'm not sure.
Okay, very good. And the last thing I have on my list, and once again, for those of you on the call, I do a shout out every day. There are still businesses operating. There are still people that do want to work despite everything going on. And so we want to be able to make those connections to interested parties. So if any company has openings that you want to try to get filled, please let us know. And I should know my friend Chris is on the phone from Michigan Works as well. He's one of our partners in helping do that. I know, Chris, do you want to say anything about the current employment situation or anybody looking to hire locally? I don't know if Chris is still on the phone or not.
Hey, Justin, this is Don. Can you ask them, they quit now, but somebody, getting a lot of feedback. Somebody's not on mute.
Okay.
Well, I'm back on now. I forgot to unmute my phone, but yeah, I know Universal Handling is still looking for some people, looking for a CNC engineer. They're also looking for experienced painters. I know McCarthy is still going with the solar project. We're still doing OJTs with them as well. So there's still opportunities. And on the other end of the spectrum, I did have regional manager from Dollar General contact me yesterday. They're looking for some people, so anybody wants to pick up some hours, that type of a thing. We do have some contact information there. So there's still opportunities out there. Just pass them on. And we are still posting positions as well. So anybody has anything that they'd like to post on PMTC, we're here to help out.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. With that, that's all I have on my list right now. As always, we'd like to open up the floor for comments and questions from anybody on the call.
Justin, Mike Gillette from Beechcraft. Quick question.
Sure, Mike.
For that loan application, I'm still supposed to send it to business relief at ShiawasseeChamber.org?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
You got it. Yep.
Hey, Justin, this is John from AHP. I was just wondering, I was looking for the unemployment benefits for, like, say, church workers that don't generally qualify for those. Do you know anything about that, or was it Jody out there who was informing us about that? I could not find anything related to that.
I'm going to ask Jody to comment on that.
John, I have not specifically read anything on church workers, but I am going to do a little bit of research and see what I can come up with. And if I find something, I will share it with Justin, or I'll email directly to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Justin, was there someone else who was jumping in there? Yeah, go ahead.
Kim from the Shiawassee Community Foundation. I just wanted to let you know we're meeting also and determining what we can do to donate or put together with the United Way's package. We'll meet today as some of our boards, so hopefully we can get something put together next couple days. Thank you.
I just want to give a quick shout out to all the nonprofits. Obviously our organizational focus, the focus of these calls has been on, more business type related ventures, but our nonprofits in Shiawassee are doing incredible work right now trying to help those in need, thinking about, things like delivering lunches to kids, stuff like that. I mean, it's just amazing how the community is pulled together. So thanks to the, Community Foundation, the Y, the Cook Foundation, the United Way. I mean, there's a laundry list of groups that have really stepped up to the plate. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. Other questions?
Hey, Justin, this is John again. This may be a repeat of that question that Mr. Gillette had. I'm not sure if I heard it correctly, but you said those applications for loans and grants are still open, even though that deadline was Sunday night?
Yeah, so here's the deal. So the application, the small business relief, the application form was the same for grants and loans. The grant deadline was midnight on Sunday. So we did ask for all the forms to be in by midnight on Sunday. However, if you have a client that doesn't want a grant but wants a loan, then that can still be submitted through there. Because what's going to happen, John, is we've collected all that information. It's sitting in a Google Drive right now. And once, to my friend Tyler on the phone from MEDC, once MEDC tells us, this is how we want to receive the information, this is how we want to review all those proposals, we will take it from the Google Drive and send it up to Lansing. So I believe, Tyler, we're expecting maybe as soon as tomorrow some guidance on how that process is going to flow with you guys on the loans. Is that possible maybe by tomorrow?
Yeah, that's my understanding. I think obviously the applications are open, but I think the plan was always by April 1st to really have everything solidified. And I'd be surprised if something more official doesn't come out in the next day and a half here. And obviously we'll sift that through and push it through Justin as well.
Well, and I got to tell you, I mean, it's a heck of a deal, everybody. And I've talked to several folks. The grants are great, but 0.25% interest rate, 0.25%. I mean, that's unbelievable. Unfortunately, the challenge here is, and you've heard me mention this before, it's a $10 million pot of money statewide. That money is going to go very, very quickly. So it's going to be highly competitive. My hope, and this is the same thing with the grants, my hope is the program will go so well that somehow, some way, Tyler, your crew will find a way to find more money to do more loans in that pipeline, hopefully.
Yep.
So
that's the hope.
Yep. So
hey, Justin. Good morning. It's Barry Paxton. How are you?
Hey, Barry. Good.
Good. Hey, actually, one comment and then one question. So the comment is Right at Home, Senior Home Care and Assistance Company, my company. We're obviously hiring for all 3 locations, Owasso, East Lansing, Novi, and the Brighton, Michigan area as well. So I'll get you some information if you put that maybe on the site or have Chris put that out as well that we are hiring.
Perfect.
Second thing is the question is more related to the grant and the loan. Because we have operations in Shiawassee County, Ingham County, Livingston County, Oakland County, Wayne County, what is the process? Because I submitted the information to you through SEDP, but do we need to then go and apply for that assistance in each of the respective counties, or is a one-time application enough? I wasn't sure, and I just want some clarification on that.
Yeah. Which one were you applying for, Barry? Grant or loan or both?
No, just a loan because we wouldn't qualify for the grant.
Okay, so you don't need to do anything else.
Okay,
at
so
this
just one
point.
application that we sent.
Exactly, yeah. The grants are a little. We ran into this a couple of times in the grant review that maybe somebody lived in Shiawassee County, but their business was in another county, or vice versa. Okay. But from a loan perspective, it all funnels to the same source. So you could have applied in any of those communities, and so you're good. You're good.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thanks for all your help.
Yeah, thank you. Other comments, questions?
Yeah, Justin, this is Kevin, Bible Village of Bancroft, also self-employed.
Yep. Hey, Kevin.
I was on the site this morning at 5:30, and I can confirm that they don't have anything on there for self-employed. And it was actually real easy. So anybody out there, make sure you tell everybody to go, as they're telling everybody, go early or late at night. But it just went smooth as silk. I couldn't apply for self-employed, but it did let me go through the whole procedure of registering and all that. So my 10 cents.
Thank you, Kevin. I saw your email here too. And Jody, do you have any sense on when that's going to get changed on the website at the state level, the self-employed being allowed to submit?
The only thing I have found was something from yesterday saying that they were working, and in the next couple of days, we could expect to be able to do that, or they would have instructions on how to file. So it sounds like this is in the coming days. There will be additional guidance on the UIA website regarding the implementation of these new programs. So I will, like I said, I'll kind of keep my eye on it and see if I can find anything as it comes up, or if anybody else hears that it's come up, if they want to let us know. But I'll keep an eye out. It doesn't say specifically; it just says in the coming days.
Thank you.
Yeah, stay tuned. Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Hey, Justin, Don, can you give me a call after this? It's about some other things, okay?
Okay. else? Last call? Okay. Well, thank you all once again. Appreciate you making time to be on, and we'll do it again tomorrow. So look for your invite, and feel free to pass along if anyone you know would like to listen in. Pass along the call-in information to them. So thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye now.
Thanks.
Thank you, Justin.